Okay, how you doing? Challenge science update for the first Martin period. Um, I'll try to be as brief as I can with this video, but there's a lot to talk about. And I know parents are busy. I'm very busy myself as a parent. But, when you sign the contract to commit to this difficult class, I'd really recommend that you and your child take the time to watch this video. Again, this class is a very big commitment for an eighth grade kid, 13, 14-year-old. And I think it's really important that you take the time and sit down and watch this carefully and watch it with your child also. So, with that being said, so far it's been a fun year. Great time this year so far. Kids have been great, enthusiastic, lots of fun. Topics we've covered so far in the first Martin period: physical, chemical properties of matter, density. We balanced equations, um, periodic table trends, not just knowing a symbol and a name. Where are the metals? Where are the non-metals? Why do they behave the way they do? How does their size impact their reactivity? So we've done a lot of high-level stuff early on. And this material really sets the foundation for when we really take off in the spring with even higher level chemistry. So right now we're building that foundation, and the kids are doing a phenomenal job. Going through in the second Martin period, first half of the second Martin period, we're going to do potential kinetic energy, and we'll also be learning about heat and thermodynamics. And then come January, we'll get into physics, and there'll be another video before then. With that being said, it's a lot of work. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but we are having fun. Tomorrow, we're going to have or depending on when I post this week, we're going to be having our Element Madness tournament. So I guess that'll be Wednesday of this week. We're also going to be doing pumpkin smashing off the stadium bleachers to demonstrate kinetic potential energy sometime in November. And we'll be blowing up our marshmallow peeps in December like we always do. So even though the class is very rigorous, we try to really have fun too when we can. So again, great. We're off to a great start. Really enjoy this group of kids. Okay. So what's going on in class? So first off, if you were to walk in this class, this is a non-traditional class, meaning, the trend nowadays is to implement a lot of technology in class, and I go against it. We don't use technology during classroom instruction. In fact, the laptops are banned from my classroom. We barely even use the smartboard. We learn through a notebook, colored pencils, colored chalk. That's our technology. It's colored chalk. And that's what I did say. I said colored chalk is our technology. We learn to write in a notebook, and we use our minds rather than hard drive. Again, the laptop is a good resource for homework. It's a good resource to keep things organized. It's a good resource for my videos. But during classroom instruction, I want human interaction. I want discussion. I want kids writing things down. I want kids engaged mentally, not using a screen. Okay. So right off the bat, laptops are not used in the classroom unless I'm not here. Okay. And a couple things I want to talk about with this course. Not only are we learning high levels of science at a very rapid pace, we're also practicing a lot of skills that are very useful now and also down the road when you get to high school if your child decides to take AP honors level coursework. So the first thing we talked about, again, the reason why we don't use a laptop in class mostly is because your child has to earn their resources. We don't have a textbook we rely on too much. It's a foundation. But again, the more your child listens in class, the more resources they have. The more resources they have, the better they learn the material. So they're actually learning that they actually have to earn something to get the benefit. They have to earn their resources. They have to listen every day. It is nonstop teaching. There's nonstop writing, nonstop questioning, nonstop engagement, right? And every day they're taking notes in class. And with that, they're being taught how to take notes in class, how to shorthand, how to keep up, how to stare, listen, and write at the same time. It forces them, it gets them so, if they're doing well, which most of them are, they're engaged in the lesson through this old school way of a notebook and a pencil. That's all we use. And with that, there's a lot of hands-on activities, demonstrations, big discussions. But it's amazing the amount of engagement you get when all you have is a pencil and a notebook, maybe a couple of colored pencils too. So again, they're taking notes in class. And they're being taught to have another notebook where at night, whatever they wrote really fast, they need to rewrite it every night. And the more they focus in class, the more of a reward they'll have at night. I said reward. They have to earn it, right? They earn the resources. They have to work hard for it. They get to rewrite their notes tonight. And when they rewrite, they make it neat. They organize it by topics. That's how they're taught. They should have a table of contents. In fact, it's so great this year. The kids are asking me, what should I call this table of contents? What should I? They're really into it. And they rewrite the notes at night and they're actively studying. Instead of staring at something, they're writing. And I told them to talk it out. Think about what you're writing. Draw a picture, right? But here's the thing, they may rewrite them and then walk away. No, you need to take the time and talk them out. Don't stare at the notes, talk them out. Imagine what you saw in class and why you wrote that. So we're not only trying to teach them how to take notes, they're also being taught to have this self-discipline without the distraction of a TikTok or a Snap or a cell phone, to think about the notes, talk out the notes, visualize the notes. So they really take home what they learned in class to supplement their written work. One other thing we've told them to do with active studying, they're given a packet and they're being taught each night how many pages to do to kind of manage their time throughout a chapter. You can't blow things off. You can't cram. If you do, your grade won't be good. And those are choices they have to make. And so we're telling them, once you're done most of the packet pages, because I collect it for accuracy, 2 pages I grade, go back with a different colored pen and improve all your answers. So if I check it, there's a better chance it'll be accurate and thorough. But on top of that, by checking a packet towards the end, you're going back with an active mentality, writing things, reading, looking at your answer, making a correction. Again, we learn best through mistakes, right? Correct your work, make it better. So they're also being taught to actively study and actively review. But again, it takes a child who is focused, has self-discipline, and a positive attitude. And it's not easy in 8th grade. That's why we had a contract for this class to sign up. Can your child withstand the temptation to use their phone and be on it part of the time and do their homework and be on it again and do that? Doesn't work. You need locked in focus to succeed in this class. Okay, so they're learning note-taking and active study techniques along with time management. Next thing we're doing is we're talking about self-advocating and self-scouting. So let's talk about self-advocating first. This class is hard. It forces kids who really have done very well throughout their time in school where they didn't need to go for help. Now they're starting to realize, well, this is getting kind of hard, and they're learning a lot each day. It's hard to keep up. But are they asking questions? Sometimes I can allow it in class when there's time. But if there's no time, I say, write it down, ask me an SSS, or write that down in their notes, look it up at night, or come see me the next day, right? So I'm seeing a lot of kids coming into SSS asking questions, really good questions. And what that is doing is it's teaching them that it's okay to ask a teacher questions. But it's not okay to wait for the test. Be proactive, ask early on so you understand things better, because they're going to learn soon that stuff at the beginning of the chapter builds, right? And they need to understand at the end. So they're also being almost forced to be proactive in understanding material. They're going to be forced to self-advocate. They got to break down that barrier of, I'm too nervous to ask a question. No, well, you can be. That's a choice to make, but don't expect to get a good grade. So the cool thing is we're seeing a lot of kids come out of the shell and ask a lot of good questions, and they're being proactive and they're writing things down. So along with this high-level science that they're getting, which is a lot for an 8th grader, they're also learning all of these strategies to be a successful student. And then we talk about self-scouting. They need to look in the mirror. What can they do better each day? You know, we always talk about strengths and weaknesses. And when we give back a test, right, with the test, well, let me talk about the test first. The tests are very difficult. The multiple choice is hard. That's what AP and honors classes are. Hard multiple choice questions, ones that aren't obvious. And the time is an issue. The kids are learning how to time manage on test. They're learning how to not separate on one question. They're learning to skip it, move on, stockpile as many points as possible and go back, right? So they're learning how to take tests with limited time, the period. They know they don't get extended time, but they're learning how to be concise with their answers, but thorough. They know it comes with hard work. They know how to avoid multiple choice, maybe knock out the bigger point values first. But they're also being told, hey, maybe if you don't pick up something on this part of the test, later on there could be a clue. Like they're learning that through action. They're getting a lot of practice at these hard tests, and they're getting stressed a little bit by trying to finish it in time. But if they're picking up these skills now, it's really going to help them down the road, because in the high school for honors AP, and even if there's an SAT, there is no extended time. Sometimes kids can't finish tests. Nothing you can do about it. And their multiple choice questions are A through E, A through F. They're all multiple choice questions. It's hard. And they're getting that practice here. But back to the self-scout mentality. When I grade a test, we then go over the test. We take a whole period the next day to go over the test. And we write down a list of strengths and weaknesses. We go over each question, and they're told, write down what you understood well. What didn't you do well? What could you have done better in terms of understanding material? Was it present in your notes? Did you miss stuff? Like, we're always being told what we can do better and how to improve. And if you constantly have that mentality of self-scouting, taking accountability, making mistakes, but making adjustments and learning from them and keeping an attitude, self-discipline, focus. There's a lot of that goes along with us learning about ionization energy, right? Potential kinetic energy. Oh, very important. But again, it's a combination of that push, that challenge we give these kids with a lot of work and managing time, and they're always making choices, right? They're starting to learn how to persevere, and the kids are really improving. So it's really good to see. So a lot of the skills we're learning besides science, again, it's keeping technology away as much as possible. Use your mind. Okay. Time management. Kids are real busy. How do kids in the high school take AP honors courses and have a job and are involved in sports or band or other activities? It's doable, but it takes self-discipline and focus. They're practicing that here. Note-taking and active studying. Again, you walk into my class, it's constant note-taking. There is no technology. It is banned. Let me say that again. It is banned from my classroom. Less is more. I told the kids that. I give you less, it forces you to do more. And that's what we want the kids to learn how to do more and persevere. Also, we're reviewing the importance of self-advocating, getting out of your shell and being proactive and not waiting till it's too late to get help in a topic. And again, we have science help desk every week, and every day I'm available in SSS. We're working on time management and tests, test-taking strategies, how to deal with long, hard multiple choice questions that require more than one answer choice. Again, everything comes back tenfold in high school, honors AP. All this is what I'm talking about, and they're practicing it here. And also strengths and weaknesses when we go over tests. So what'll happen in the second marking period? I'll do another video, but what you can see is they're going to learn all these skills. They're going to put them into practice. We're still going to do fun, hands-on visual activities with a notebook and a pencil. No technology. Okay. But we're also going to start to talk about the famous Winter Wonderland week, where in mid-December, there's 3 comprehensive exams in 3 days that cover everything from day one. So your child will be taught, right, how to review and prepare for it's not a midterm, but it's like that, a comprehensive midterm environment while learning new material. How do you manage both? How do you balance both? How do I study the old, right, and learn the new? And it goes back to, I hope they have a good notebook. I hope they have a good table of contents. I hope they wrote down their strengths and weaknesses for each test, because right there, all that stuff you do makes reviewing a lot more efficient. They're organized. They know what they need to spend more time on and less time on, so they can learn the new material. So from day one, I've told them, good choices, good outcomes. Bad choices, bad outcomes. And we showed a little graph. Let's say a kid has dealt with a lot of bad outcomes. Well, what can you do? If you start making good choices, what happens to the bad outcomes? They slowly decrease. Okay, so it's always their choice. And we're also saying, you mess around, you're going to find out. You mess around in this class and not want to work hard, you're going to find out. How? Your grade. It's very simple. Choices, outcomes. So we're doing a lot in this class. That's really fun. So I'll have more information about Winter Wonderland week soon. In mid-December, your child will be aware of it soon. And that'll be preparing for a midterm. These are just tests that blend in the marking period, but it's practicing that mentality of reviewing and looking ahead. And we'll also begin our physics unit shortly in January. And again, there will be another video before that. Lastly, parent conferences are coming up. I can guarantee you I'll be booked solid. I'd really prefer that we meet on Zoom so I can accommodate as many people as possible. I will send that an email. If you can't be fit in, if you see that there's no slot for you, I'd be more than willing to email you a summary of your child's progress. And I've told the kids this, and I'll tell you, the parent, this. I told you on back to school night, I said, parents need to know what's going on in school. Okay. As a parent, I would want a teacher to be upfront with me about how my child is progressing in class. So I always say to you, and I've said it for years, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. Not always what you want to hear. Many times it's what you want to hear because the kids are really good kids and they make good choices. But if your kid's struggling, I'm going to tell them why and what I'm seeing and how. You're going to, again, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. I'd rather be upfront and honest with you so we can propose some solutions to help the kid. It does the kid no good if I'm going to tell you they're doing great and they're really not. Okay. So conferences will come out soon. I will let you know when my sign-in Genius is open. First come, first serve. Zoom is preferred. You can come in if you want to. You'll see the times that are available. But again, if you're full, I'd be glad to send you a summary of your child's performance, which will be pretty clear on, good, bad, whatever you need to hear. I would be glad to tell you. Okay? Because I believe parents really need to know what's going on in school. It's very important because we know you're a big part of the process too. Okay? Hope you found this video helpful. If any questions, please don't hesitate to email me. Thank you very much. And it's been a great year so far, and it's going to continue. Have a good day.